I don't know. It's day 10 of losing weight with Nate, and it's like 6:30 in the morning. It's freezing, waiting for the car to warm up again. Seems like it's darker than it was yesterday. Can't remember what time it was yesterday, but I feel a little tired because I went to sleep pretty late. Had a cold shower, freezing man. I had a cold shower. Yeah, I said that. It's really cold. Today is weigh-in day, so I kind of forgot that until I got in the car. But I'll just have to try and be mindful of what I'm wearing. And I guess I will do the weigh-in after the workout. And I'll try to do it close to the same time every Saturday. Just so that, you know, I've mentioned in past videos, controllable variables is important. I ideally want everything to be the same so that I'm comparing, you know, apples to apples. When you have different variables, different scales, different things, different times, then you're potentially comparing oranges to apples, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. So yeah, today is weigh-in day, and also reflection day, which I'll probably do a little bit later in the day. Being the weekend, of course, today's Saturday, a bit more flexibility. You know, for me, technically every single day is sort of like a weekend day. Well, I guess I always, you know, weekends you can do a little bit more with people who are not working. You know, during the week people are busy, and it's kind of hard to just mostly by yourself. So planned for today, leg workout. I did the last leg workout last Sunday, so this is sort of 6 days in between. You know, my legs are better. I think they were fine like a couple of days ago. Basically, I think when I did Clevedon first time on the Wednesday, I did it yesterday as well. When I was going up the stairs, my legs were fine, so that's probably a good sign. So that's what, Monday, Tuesday, so it took like two days? No, surely not, because my legs were pretty sore for a while. Maybe they were still sore on Wednesday, can't remember. Anyway, that's beside the point. I guess one thing I was mindful of when my friend drew up this program for me was to try and balance out the time in between exercises. And, you know, I wanted to have the traditional chest, tricep, back, bicep, legs, abs, and then shoulders was like the fourth workout. And then there was like a cardio day and like a technique day. We called it a technique day, where it was kind of like a throw around day where I could do extra things or work out on something. And then another cardio day, so 7 days a week. I kind of changed it into like 3 cardio days because I couldn't really figure out what to do on the technique day. But I think going forward I can still use that as a day to try experiment with new exercises, new workouts. You know, for example, I don't do deadlift in my workout because I've just heard, you know, pretty polarizing things about it. Like, it's not really worth doing if you're not a professional athlete, because the risk to reward ratio is so low. And I think what I interpret that to mean, what I understand that to mean, is basically you can mess up your back if you do it wrong. You know, you're lifting heavy weights typically, and if your form is bad, your technique is bad, you can end up injuring yourself. And the risk to reward ratio is not, in some people's views, is not really worth it, and other people's views, like one of my close friends, he said, you know, deadlift is, all you need to do is deadlift and something else, like huge compound exercise where you're working lots of different muscle groups in a single exercise. You know, deadlift is one of them. The other exercise I don't do is squat with a bar, mainly because you know, I kind of want to focus on just body weight at the moment. But yeah, anyway, so that's a bit of a diversion. So yeah, today is weigh-in day. Today is also reflection day. It's the weekend. I probably will do another walk. I don't know if I'll do Clevedon. I might do something completely different. You know, my two choices are always sort of Clevedon or Totara. Totara because it's sort of just down the road. Clevedon because it's a really cool challenge. I really enjoy it. It's like a nice short walk. It's very challenging. It's a good tester to see, kind of gauge where I'm at. There's other places that, you know, we used to go to walk, like Mangiru Mountain. When I used to live in Mount Talbot, we would always do Mount Talbot Mountain. There's like Summit Drive or something. It's like a really steep road up to the mountain and then to the mountain. We've done Mount Wellington, which is pretty good. It's like a really steep mountain as well, nice and short. And we haven't done some other walks, like I've never done Mount Eden. We've done Rangitoto, which is a great walk to do. We did that in preparation for Tongariro. So Tongariro Alpine Crossing, I think I've mentioned it previous video. But when I was training for that a couple of years ago, when we first sort of made this ritual, every year on our birthday we will do the Tongariro Crossing. When I was training and researching for that, I wanted to look for challenging walks that would sort of similar conditions to what I understood Tongariro to be, and Rangitoto was a good fit. One, because it's a volcano, so it has similar similar characteristics, like the molten rock, steep incline, it's got stairs, so it's kind of got like a bit of everything. And that was probably a good practice, but then like when I actually did Tongariro, it's so different. Like Tongariro is just really hard to prepare for, or train for, I should say. What's another walk that we've done? Another big walk that we've done is Karamatura Falls, Donald McLean. That's in the Waitakere Ranges. That's a really good walk. It's very different to Tongariro. It's a very high incline. I think stairs-wise, it's like, what is it, 1400 stairs, whereas Clevedon's just under 1000. If you go up the right side, on the left it's like 780, pretty sure. And then another walk that we've done in the Waitakere Ranges, just a bit further from Donald McLean, Karamatura, is, I think it's Gibbons. We were meant to do O Manawa Nui, but we took the wrong turn, so we went right instead of left onto the beach because we couldn't understand the signage, so we ended up going right, which was Gibbons. and we didn't do the whole thing. I didn't even remember. I think we did like an hour or something, because it was so long we didn't know where the end was. But we haven't completed that track. We haven't done Omanawanui, and we've never gone back there, because if you've been to the area, you know that there's a super sketchy road, very narrow gravel road. You sort of have to navigate your way around, and it just feels sketchy because it's not like a 2-lane road. It's very narrow, so if there's another car coming, you feel like you're screwed. You can't really reverse, you don't have great visibility ahead. There are points, where there's turns where there is a little bit of space to kind of pull over, but yeah, we just hate it. I hate driving down that road. So we did it once. We're not that keen to do it again unless we have a better car, more capable, sort of, what do you call it, 4-wheel drive, with good suspension and something. My cars are getting a little bit old. So I need to figure out what else I want to do today. I have a lot on my plate, and talking with my life coach last night kind of set a plan of a bunch of things I want to focus on, like my routine. There's a couple of things that I want to bring back in, like journaling. I've tried to do journaling every day, but I'm only capturing real basic stuff, so I want to do that a bit better. And yeah, that's the plan. I'm been stalling enough. It's now 6:45. The windows are all good, all cleared up. Car's still cold, but yeah, I'll head off to the gym now, do a leg workout, leg and abs, and report back either after that or later in the day. Cheers. Morena, workout done. I've just come home because I forgot on a weekend they closed the side entrance, so we had to park underground. The signal's not great. So workout done. It was just a little over an hour. Leg workout, leg and abs. Kind of got a little bit muddled up with some of the exercises that I did. I got confused by them because I did them out of sequence because the machine is busy, and this is just kind of what happens, right? It's not always going to go perfectly to plan unless you're in there by yourself. Then, in order to do that, you literally have to wake up super early or go super late when no one's there. But did the workout. I wish I could leave and just feel like strong, but I always feel like I'm just, I don't know, struggling. And then there's also the comparison, like when I got in and I was doing leg, there was a guy next to me who had like 4 or 5 20 plates on or something. I didn't really count because I didn't want to look, but it was a lot. And then when he started putting the weights away, I started counting. I was like, oh, there's like 5 20 plates on each side, so it's like 200 kgs leg press. And then here I am next to him doing like, I don't know, I think I started on 100 for warm-up, and then I sort of progressively went up. And I miscalculated. I thought I was doing 130, but I was only doing 110 because I had 20, 20, 15, what's that? Yeah, 55, 110. For some reason I thought it was 65, but I didn't have it at 20, counted wrong. So I was possibly behind last week, because last week I apparently did 130. I think I did 100, 130, 130, something else. And today I did a little bit less. I have to double check what I actually did. Maybe I'll put it up on the screen if I figure out how to do that. And then the other exercises were okay. Interestingly, when I did leg extension, I felt like fatigued or tired or couldn't do as much. And what's the one? The leg curl, like the hamstring. Yeah, that's not that great. It's not that strong. You need to work on that. That's probably a weakness in the legs. What else did I do? The calf raises, and then I did the crunch machine, and I actually got that one way wrong too. I ended up doing the calf raise weight, so I almost hit the max on the machine, and that's why it was so hard. I think I started on like 45 kg, and that machine only goes up to 60, and last week I did 35, so I just completely wrong. Couldn't budge 50 kg on the crunch thing, and then I did calf raise. That was okay. My left thing is still sore. I had a gout flare up, and I think it's still a little bit sore, and I'm just mindful I don't want to injure it, because it's going to affect my ability to do all these walks and whatnot. So just trying to keep an eye on it and try not to push too hard on that side with the calf raises on the left. Did the kettlebell swings and these Russian ab twists. I think that's what they're called, Russian twists, where you've got like, I use what do you call it, the thing, the kettlebell, kettlebell, and then twist left to right. So I did that, and so weigh-in is 140 point, it was 140.7, and then I had to grab my phone to take a picture. I didn't have to take a picture, but I figured it helped to have a visual. So it was 140.7 without the phone, 140.9, and then like 140. It kept fluctuating between 140.9 and 141, and I think when I took the picture it showed 140.9. So there's the starting points, like the official starting point. I think I did weigh myself last week. I can't remember if I said what it was, but it was probably around that. So it's kind of the starting point in the context of this video. I have been weighing myself with my nutritionist, and that's a different scale with a different number. I think that one was around 140, 141. So it's around the same thing, and I was having a conversation on the way here. It's interesting because I feel like I've noticed that I always tend to get stuck around the 10s. Like for ages I was really stuck around 150, 151, 155. At one point I was 160, and it's always been hard to get under 140. And it's like you had a certain maintenance level or a certain level of weight, and for some reason you just find it really hard to kind of break that number. So this is my current challenge, is to get under 140. I was 139 or 137 at one point with the nutritionist. This is when I was like, following the plan kind of to the T, eating pretty well, pretty active, walks almost every day, every second day. But now, like, I'm trying to do daily gym, trying to do a walk. It might be a little bit ambitious to do a walk every single day, like a big walk like Totara or Clevedon, because they're just, driving back and forth, gas, etc, etc. Walking around the neighborhood's just as fine. It's not as challenging, but a walk is a walk at the end of the day. So that's the morning stuff done. Now I'm going to go head inside. As you can see, it's sunshine's out. It's 8:15. The ice, I can see the grass is still icy. Temperature is 7 degrees, so I'll go inside. I'll probably have some protein, might make a protein shake, and then I'll have breakfast closer to 9:30, 10, because I'm not really hungry, I'm mostly just thirsty. I'll probably have a coffee, and then do some study, do some other stuff. My fiance's laptop is still not working, so we supposedly got it fixed yesterday, and it's just, I don't know what they did. They didn't charge it, so the battery was dead. So that's a headache. It's like an ongoing issue, and it kind of just ruins part of the day, because then you waste time sorting that out instead of doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, I better get going, and I might touch base later on in the day, midday or something, check in, and then do like a review of the week. Alright, see you soon. Kia ora, it's Nate. I guess this is pretty much going to be the midday check-in / also review or recap of the week. Monday to Friday, including today, and then tomorrow's video I'll try focus on looking ahead. Maybe I should do a review on the Sunday, but I kind of like the idea of just focusing the Sunday on the future, because I also do planning on the Sunday. But yeah, today's been a pretty busy day. It's now 12, just getting close to 12:30. I missed my snack time at 11:30, lunch at 1:30, so I'm just having a snack now. I had a protein bar, and I'm also having a protein shake, which is 1 scoop of protein, some blueberries, and almond milk. I'm also meant to have an apple, but I had an apple with my protein shake earlier this morning after the gym, so I didn't want to double up. From a review perspective, if I had to evaluate how I think the week has gone, it's not been great. It's been okay. I'm hypercritical, so it's hard to. I have high standards of myself and of others, which my fiance is very aware of. But yeah, the week's been okay, I guess. I've gone for 3 or 4 big walks. Like I did Totara once or twice to Clevedon twice, so that's good. I've done gym workouts almost every day from Wednesday. Can't remember, to be honest, it's kind of a blur. But yeah, I've done like a workout each day. I've done all of the main groups, like shoulder, chest, back, legs. I did a cardio day. So I'm starting to get into a pretty good rhythm, I think. My routine is slowly improving. I'm getting up earlier, like I got up today at 6 something. Then I sort of sat in the car for a little while, as you saw, a little bit longer than intended. Did the workout. It was an hour longer than I want. I really want my workouts to be between like 30 to 45 minutes max. That can be difficult when I'm doing like 6 exercises, and sometimes the machines are used and you just have to wait. So yeah, workouts, starting again, getting started. I've had like a long break. When I look at my spreadsheet that maybe I'll show you at some time, there's a huge gap for like a month plus, sort of several sessions. I'm so far behind where I projected myself to be, but things happen, and I'm recommitting now for good, and planning to continue this every single day for the next year. Currently on day 10, so barely 10% through. When we get to day 36, 37, that'll officially represent 10% of the 365 days. So still early days. It's only, like, I guess if I was to round it down, it's probably like 3%. So very early days, too early to tell. It's easy to start off with a big bang, but the hardest part is just doing this consistently every single day, and that's why for me the core focus is just around discipline and just the basics of the daily routine. Getting up at a certain time, allocating some time for alone, just me and myself to collect my thoughts. Try to be device free, go for a walk regularly. When I feel tired and unproductive, that's probably the best time to get up and go for a walk and move. Our bodies were made to be active, not to sit in front of a computer all day. Having a sedentary job my entire career has been a problem in that space. So, for anyone who's on their feet all day, yeah, props to you, man. Props to you. You probably don't even understand what it's like to sort of develop sedentary, sitting in front of a computer It's not good for your back. It's not how we were built. We were built to move around, be mobile. So yeah, I'm trying. My food this week hasn't been that great, let's be honest. You know, had takeaways, 2 takeaways. We went to this Chinese place. We had fried rice and egg foo young and sweet sour pork, and that's lasted quite a long time. I think we still have some in the fridge. That's probably lasted us 3-4 days. And then yesterday, when we went to pick up the laptop, which is another story, we got some Jamaican takeaways from this beautiful place called Nanny's Eatery. If you haven't heard of it, I highly recommend go check it out. Some of the best like flavors and pork belly and mac and cheese. Like, it's good, man. It's really good. It's a bit of a treat because I kind of got some semi-good news the other day in the job space, and you know, I'll hopefully, fingers crossed, next week works out good, and I'll give you an update on that front. But yeah, food sense. Food can always be better. I want to really lock that in. I want to try and stick to the routine of eating at certain times and sticking to the plan and not swaying too far away from that, because that's the key. And I've also noticed that I need to sleep earlier. It's hard because I have to pick up my fiance while she's doing her placement. So you know, she finishes. She's fluctuated. This week was a late week, so I think she said next week she starts in the morning. So then I don't have that problem from next week. But yeah, mental health up and down. It's been not too bad. You know, I'm trying to assess. I want to incorporate Te Wharatapawha, as you might see in the description. So kind of looking holistically at the 4 dimensions, you know, health-wise, active, tinana, body, you know, that's all about diet and exercise. Those things can be improved. They're sort of on the right track at the moment. Mental health can be improved. I try to create and dedicate more space to just me and my thoughts. And you know, I was watching a YouTube video this morning about how to design a killer thumbnail for my videos, and I started getting like mentally exhausted 20 minutes into the video because I think I've just overloaded my dopamine receptors by watching too much content, which happens to me from time to time. You might resonate with this yourself. But yeah, basically watching too much content is not good for you, because you kind of like overdose on dopamine, and then you get headaches, and yeah, it's not great. It's a good sign to like switch off and put the phone down, put the device down, get away from the computer, go outside, go for a walk, get some fresh air, get the sun on you. You know, you'll feel a lot better. That's why I'm outside right now. I kind of just want to have a break from the computer for a bit. I'm planning to go for a walk soon. My fiance should be finishing work any moment and coming home, and then, you know, fingers crossed we hear some good news from the second laptop guy that that I dropped it off to earlier. Yeah, and just, you know, my plan right now was to do something else, but I had to do something else. I had to run an errand for her. So and this is just life, right? You make plans, and then your plans change, and you have to adapt. And you can't sit around and complain and cry about it. You just got to get on and adjust. And I guess that's the biggest lesson for me, and that's the importance of these videos, is to kind of like see in real time from somebody doing it on a daily basis, recording and documenting their journey, that, you know, there are going to be days where it's just like everything, sometimes it feels like everything is against you, when in reality it's not. It's all down to your mindset, and that's the importance of developing a strong mental mindset, having a good, you know, staying positive, reaching out for help, seeking help. You know, that's not a weakness. I know as a man, as a male, asking for help can be like, you would never think of it. You might think, is it, like me for many years, think it's a sign of weakness, but you know, sometimes it can be a sign of strength. You know, being a man is a very lonely experience, as you other men watching this probably can resonate with. You know, women, I don't think women will ever understand how lonely it can be to be a man. You know, we're kind of groomed from a young age to, you know, be stoic, which has its merits, don't get me wrong, and to be strong and capable and all these things. And, you know, boys don't cry, men don't cry, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. It gets drummed into you from a young age, and you just have to be like you have to almost be immune to emotion. And then the catch of that, of course, is you don't know how to connect emotionally with the opposite sex, and you struggle with emotions, and you're just like closed off and rigid. And then women kind of complain, oh, I wish you were more emotional, and shit's like, no, you fellas don't know what you're asking for. Don't ask a woman how to be treated respectfully, because they don't have a goddamn clue of what it's like to be a man. Yeah, women are not logical creatures, as you know. They're emotional, so it's easy for them to display emotion, and they kind of grow up embracing their emotions, whereas we typically hide our emotions. We learn to navigate the world void of emotion sometimes. That's not to say that we don't have emotion. Of course we have emotions. You know, we feel pain, we feel anxiety, we feel depression. We probably choose not to see it as depression. We try to sort of push through it. But yeah, I've always found that I kind of have like a balance of both. I can be quite empathetic, but I can also be super black and white, and super rough, and super almost cold and emotionless at times, because, you know, it's kind of how I grew up. I had to be, you know, my dad was staunch and tough. Like, can you imagine growing up as a son, never hearing your father say that I love you? And the one time that he did say that to me, he was drunk. And he was just, you know, I had to literally carry him home. And he's a big guy. He's, you know, slightly taller than me. I think he's like 6'1", and 100 plus kgs. And I had to carry him home from the bar. And all the way home, he was sort of saying to me, you know, you're my son and I love you. And it was like, yeah, Dad, I love you too. It's all right. Let's just get home. He's like, you're my son and I love you. He kept repeating it. And that was the only time that I ever heard those words out of his mouth. I'm 36, by the way. So can you imagine what it's like living your entire life? And as a son, nothing means more to you than your father's approval. And I don't think I've ever received it verbally. I know that we get along now. Like, early childhood was a bit rough. We were terrified of our dad. He was, you know, he would kind of beat us. Not really, but he would like slap us or spank us with a belt or some kind of object. And we learnt very early discipline, and, you know, we wouldn't play up. We were good kids in saying that. But yeah, we learnt from a distance that, okay, we need to hide our emotions. We can't share. And then, you know, when I get into a relationship, I don't know how to communicate with emotions very well. I'm very empathetic. I can sense things. I can get very emotional watching movies and whatnot. I do have a very soft side, but I can also be incredibly rigid. And I think a lot of us struggle with that balance. So your mental health can be improved. Spiritual health, need to work on that. I think of spiritual as kind of connecting to nature, being completely present. Maybe call it meditation, deep sort of alone time. Something that I need to work on and need to sort of prioritize. And then the last one is like social, whare, tapawha, taha whānau, social, family, friendships. I don't spend enough time with my parents. I'm always at my fiance's house because it's convenient, but I really need to spend more time with my dad and my mum to cultivate and reinforce those relationships. You know, it's very important to me. Like sometimes I'll go a weeks without even visiting them, and that kind of hurts. And then when we go, you know, to like use my printer or do something, I always feel wrong, like we just, you know, coming in and out, don't really stay, don't really talk, and I want to change that. You know, because this whole weight loss journey it's not just about eating food and exercising, it's so much more. Like wellness is true wellness, holistic wellness is all of those 4 dimensions. You know, your physical tinana, your mental hinengaro, your social whānau, and your spiritual Wairua. All of those things make up your health. So that's what I'm working on. It's been a decent week, I want to say, but it can be better. So anyway, my protein shake is just sitting here. It's in the sun. That's probably enough for now. Oh yeah, the laptop thing. Maybe I'll talk about it later. I just want to get off and have a rest, sit in the sun, stop talking. All right, I'll touch base later. Cheers. Yo, just done Clevedon again today. This time I've done it with a special guest, my beautiful fiance, who does not wish to be on camera, which is fine. Should be able to hit 8,000 steps. Freezing cold, it's like just before 4 o'clock. Heading back to the car, have a feed, have a snack, touch base later on. Sweet.